What if instead of treating diseases after they happen, we could create a condition itself where disease occurs less often in the first place? This idea is called health promotion. Hi everyone, I am Dr. Asha Priyanka, your public health dentist, and today we're going to understand health promotion, which is actually one of the most important concepts in public health, and it's also something that the students get really confused with. They get confused between health education and health promotion. So let's simplify it step by step. What is health promotion? First, let's try and understand the concept. Health promotion is defined as the process of enabling people to increase control over their health and improve it. The key points here to look out for is increase control and improve. This definition comes from the famous Ottawa Charter in 1986. What it means is that health promotion is not just about teaching people, it's also about creating an environment where healthy choices can become easier to make. Even if your environment is not suitable for you to make a healthy choice, it's really difficult to make that healthy choice. For example, if healthy food is available more easier, then people will eat better. And something like tobacco advertising, if it is restricted, then fewer people will start smoking. So health promotion works beyond the clinic or beyond the single patient. Let's also see health promotion versus health education. Now, here's an important concept. Health promotion, it's actually a broader concept than health education. We've seen and mentioned this in the previous video where we saw that health education mainly focuses on providing information and also trying to give motivation to our patients or to one-on-one people. But health promotion goes further than that. It also looks at a lot of social factors, a lot of economic factors, and all the environmental conditions that can influence health. For example, teaching toothbrushing to people, it is health education. But when we talk about fluoridating water supply, that is health promotion. Over here, the Ottawa Charter also says something quite interesting. They say that health is not created in any hospitals. It is created and lived by people within their everyday lives, where they learn, play, work, and love and interact. That means if we want to really improve a person's health, we must focus on their settings around them, where they live and how they live. That's the essential meaning of this. Now, what are, like any good answer, we learn it in a bunch of side headings. So we need to understand, when you talk about a concept, we need to understand what it is, and then what are the principles, what are the motivations, what are the likes, dislikes, or what are the advantages, disadvantages. So subheadings make the answer structured, and that will help us in understanding the concept and not trying to mug up things. So now let's look at what the principles are of health promotion. So it's guided by a few principles. Firstly, empowerment. So it means that people should gain control over the decisions that affect their health. People should know what can happen to their health and then have control over what are these influences that are there that are affecting my health. So for that, they need to be empowered. Next is participation. So communities must also actively participate in health programs. If we set out a bunch of health programs and the community is not participating, really there's no point. Next is equity. Everyone should have equal opportunity to achieve good health. Yes, this is idealistic, but is it necessary? Yes. So let's keep it as a goal. Then intersectoral collaboration. Health improvement requires the cooperation between a lot of sectors. It'll start from education, housing, the government obviously, and also healthcare. All of them together will only influence health. And then sustainability. Imagine if there are health programs, but either they're not effective or they just come and go. So they should remain effective and they should remain continuing in the society, and that's sustainability. Now, like the Ottawa Charter mentioned, let's look at some setting-based health promotion. This is another important concept. So instead of targeting individuals alone, what we like to do in public health is we implement in their specific environments where people spend most of their time, like in schools, in workplaces, in hospitals, and in the communities. So this is where people spend most of their time. This is where we should implement our health program, right? So an example in dentistry would look like a school dental health program that includes oral hygiene education and fluoride. Now let's talk about how to approach health promotion. So there are some approaches that are there for health, and these will help us get a perspective of how to tackle the situation. First is the medical or preventive approach. This focuses on disease prevention, so like our immunization and screening programs. However, there is some criticism here. It is often said that in this kind of approach, there is limited addressing to social determinants. So that social determinants are often ignored in this kind of an approach. The next is behavior change approach. Now this focuses on changing the individual person's behavior, like we've seen in the previous video. Like for example, smoking cessation campaigns. It uses the psychological models we've spoken about, like health belief model and stages of change. And the criticism over here though is that it may ignore the social context that actually affects behavior. So it's like a very one bottleneck. The next approach is an educational approach. This provides knowledge and understanding so people can make an informed health decision. For example, our dental health education in schools. And the final approach is a socio-environmental approach. This addresses broader determinants of health, like our social conditions, the economic factors, the environment around us. For example, fluoridation of water or sugar taxation. So this approach targets the root causes of diseases. Now let's look at health promotion strategies that were given by the Ottawa Charter. We'll talk about the famous strategies. Now these can be written in a certain way. I'll show you how. Basically, it says that there are 5 actions that are used in health promotion. We'll see it one by one. Firstly is to build healthy public policy. So that is like policies that actually support health. So our tobacco control laws, our sugar regulations and fluoridation policies will fall under this. Then next is to create supportive environments. So the environment should encourage healthy choices like smoke-free public spaces. And here is a diagram, an emblem of the Ottawa Charter for Health Promotion. If you can draw this emblem and write your points in this, or separately, but try and draw the emblem over here, it will really help in the exam. The third point is to strengthen the community action. This tells us that it empowers communities to take action for their health. How? By implementing health programs. So community dental awareness campaigns, all of this will fall under that. And then the fourth is to develop personal skills. You want to support personal and social development throughout life. This includes our health education. So we want to teach individuals skills like brushing techniques, like healthy diet habits, or any tobacco cessation strategies. We want to individually educate them on this. And then reorient the health services. So you want to change how healthcare works to focus more on prevention and promotion and not only the treatment. So example would be our school dental screening programs. This really helps. Now let's see a concept called upstream versus downstream health promotion. It's one of the most interesting concepts in public health. Imagine a river. People are falling into the river and getting injured. Now doctors standing downstream keep rescuing them, but someone there stands and asks, but why are people falling into the river in the first place? That question represents the upstream thinking. So let's see what upstream approach is. The upstream approach targets the root causes of any disease. Like, for example, it tries to improve a person's housing and to regulate junk food advertising, to ban tobacco sales near the schools. It works with the root cause, like we said. And in dentistry, water fluoridation and policies that limit sugar in foods all try to prevent the disease before it occurs. Now, then what is downstream approach? This focuses on treating diseases after it happens. So, like tobacco cessation counseling after a person is essentially addicted to tobacco, and then treating dental caries, and all our restorative care and all our treatments will fall under this. The interventions are important, but they deal with the effects rather than the cause. So this is the importance also of health promotion. There are several reasons why health promotion is important. Firstly, it is cost effective for disease prevention. Preventing a disease is always just very cost effective than actually treating or curing that disease. Second, it reduces health inequities. And why? Because it addresses the social and environmental determinants of health. Third, it improves a person's quality of life. And fourth, it empowers communities to take control of their own health. Finally, it is also essential in preventive dentistry, because oral diseases are largely behavior related and very preventable. Now, I've specifically summarized things for you and written a segment called Key Linkages in the mind map book for each of you, so that you don't look at the concept alone. And I want you to understand what the link is to the bigger picture. And I would say it'll benefit you to also write the notes down alongside with me. You can write it on the book itself, or you can go to the app. You can create your own flashcards in the app, because that will truly reinforce that concept. And you'll never have to worry about forgetting a concept once you understand the structure and logic behind it. That's what we aim to do here. If you're still wondering where to buy the book, it's available on Amazon, our website, Dental Cart, Amazon, said that already, and Flipkart. So if you're still confused, you can WhatsApp us, you can DM us on Instagram. We are very, very friendly. Please comment below as well. I'll help you personally. So let's look at some key linkages from this to our dental health. Firstly, health promotion, we understand it's broader than health education. And upstream interventions often focus on the policy and societal changes that are there, whereas downstream interventions focus on individual level interventions. And socio-environmental approach is what will tackle the root causes of any disease. That's the aim. And the Ottawa Charter is basically the foundation of modern health promotion over here. So if we kind of take a step back and look at the bigger picture, like I like to call it, health education helps people learn healthy behaviors, and health promotion helps them create a society where healthy choices become easier to make. And with that shift from treatment to prevention, we'll truly see improvement in population's health. Now, let's take a look at one MCQ and a flashcard from this topic as well. What are the core principles of health promotion related to communities? Empowerment of individuals and communities. One major importance of health promotion is that A, focuses on curative services, B, reduces the cost of disease treatment, C, eliminates need for health policies, and D, replaces medical professionals. Questions might look easy right now. The answers, you may feel like, at this point you may feel, just because you've listened to the lecture now, you may feel some of these answers are really stupid, they belong out. But once you start eliminating answers, sometimes what happens in the exam is you're left with two. That's the trap, that's the neat trap. Usually people are not confused with all four options. They can easily eliminate two of them. They're left with two options which they need to know how to eliminate. That's why you need to pick out important words and remember those words connecting to your concept. The answer here is B. It reduces the cost of disease treatment. Now, I also want you to go to the app if you would like to test yourself with some more flashcards and MCQs. In the next topic, we'll continue exploring these concepts and connect it to other public health strategies. We'll also see our environment, water, waste management, all these things as well. So I'll see you in the next topic.